Hi, everybody. Welcome, Shari.
Hi,
Good to have you
Sherry.
back, Shari. Yes,
Thank you, Sherry, with her new hair.
yes, yes. I'm sure we will have
Crap.
some comments in the
Oh
below the
yeah, I've already
video
started
about,
getting them
but
because
I will.
I'm already dropping cards, so you know it's going to be an exciting day. Um, I went and
So,
I got it chopped, and I said, you know what? I said, let's try bangs. I haven't had bangs in a long time, and now I'm like, I think I remember now why I didn't have them anymore. They're kind of annoying. It'll just take me a while to get used to them, but.
and Shari, since I have you here, maybe you want to give us a couple words of what's going on with your channel, what's new.
Well, I just went over 6,700 subscribers, which blew my
Congratulations.
mind. I wasn't expecting that. And I've got a special guest coming on the slumber party tonight at 10 o'clock Central, Bobby Fierro. Wild Raven Tarot is his
Oh.
channel name. He does a couple of shows with Ramon Moonscarab
Mhm.
and Selena, crap, I'm going blank on her channel name, Moon Essence or something like that. Um, but she's really sweet. They're both really sweet. I've seen them on with Ramon, and then Ramon was like, "You should reach out to Sherry. She'd probably have you on and get you a little exposure." And I'm like, "Absolutely." And got a members meeting this afternoon for all my members. And next week, kind of same old, same old. Sisters on Wednesday night, and I'm doing a live with Sylvia from Colorful Foresight on Thursday night. And then Friday night is my turn to host The Other Side of the Coin. That's a new show that Mel Dorr had started up, and I'll be talking about voodoo and the
Oh.
many variations of voodoo and the original intent of
Mhm.
voodoo and all that kind of stuff. So, um, I think that ought to be interesting. I find it fascinating personally. So, um, and I'll be and then just other things next weekend. I'll be guesting on a couple of shows or having a few people on my show and um same old, same old.
Well, looks like a busy agenda.
As normal, yeah. It's me burning the candle at both ends. And what you need, baby? Oh, he got it. Okay. I saw
And
my
I
son sticking his head.
and I have tomorrow my usual 5 p.m. Eastern on Sunday is live readings, so that's open to the everyone. And a couple hours before a members show where it's also personal readings, but on a smaller
Right.
group. And so
I'm usually doing laundry for that one, so I'm listening, but I'm not
yes.
in front of the keyboard, so I'm not really typing that much. Just like this Sunday afternoon show, that comes on like an hour before I'm backstage with Arthur.
Mhm.
And so I get to watch most of it before I have to jump away and
Yes.
go be somewhere else. But I enjoy those shows. Those are fun.
Awesome. So the
Yeah.
topic today is another deep dive. I will receive a lot of very good comments from inside his head, inside Trump's head. Last deep dive that was a month ago. And
Yeah.
so yes, and so we are going to be looking at maybe not necessarily inside his head, but everything kind of around him this time. And
Yeah, I don't
when
want to
I
go
was
back in his head for a
no.
while. That was scary.
Good, you have the sage now, so you're, in case,
That's
yeah.
it.
uh,
I just let me do my little bell, clears all the energy. So yeah, that should do it.
But
And
we wanted to kind of introduce this with kind of a little bit humoristic point of view that I felt that Trump had posed post-parade depression, post-parade PPD,
Yes.
post post-parade depression, and
Yeah, it's
he's showing signs of PPD through
he's not,
sleeping,
yeah,
looking upset, looking angry, looking, changing his mind all the time, looking grumpy. All the
yeah,
signs of his depression are really there. So we're gonna deep dive on that, right, Sherry?
there you go. And I saw a picture yesterday that somebody had shared out of one of his hands. It was like all swole up and
Well,
puffy, and it's like, that doesn't look good. So I don't know exactly what's going on there, but um, it still doesn't look very
uh,
good. That could be numerous things that cause that. So, and
I heard about that, and we can definitely start there with obviously his health, where, yes, I've heard about the very swollen hand. I've also heard about or seen concealer put on the hand to cover some maybe needlework,
yep,
that
yep,
has been
that
going
and
on,
bruises. Yeah. Um,
bruises.
Plus there was pictures that came out last week. Uh, Looked like he had a colostomy bag or something attached to
Mm,
his leg. Um, the kind that would hide like under your slacks that you wear.
yeah.
And so there's been a lot of speculation on that. Is he having kidney function problems and whatnot? So he's no spring chicken anymore.
Now,
He's lived a hard life as far as, I mean, he's lived a gilded life, but he's been a hard partier, so
yeah.
eventually it catches up.
I think kind of on the same topic that there's been kind of possibilities of him having a catheter that's hanging kind of within the pants.
Right. That's what I'm
Yeah,
talking about. I
the
said
Foley
colostomy bag.
catheter. Yeah, yeah, the
I meant
catheter.
catheter. Yeah.
Yeah, Foley catheter. And so lots of questions there. I think we will address the mental health part in a little bit, but let's stay on the physical for now.
Okay.
Let's just kind of ask the cards, like any information we can, get in terms of physical physical health for Trump, you know, for entertainment purposes only, obviously, but anything related to his
His
physical
health.
health,
Yeah.
physical health.
Uh, yeah, let's see what we got going here.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Wasn't expecting that card to pop up. Um, Crap. Ouch. I dropped cards and whacked my head. Um, okay, well, let's see. I started out with the Six of Swords. So that's some kind of transition taking place, changes happening. Um,
Yeah.
I think we're seeing that in his health. He's got some
Yes.
changes going on there that I don't know if it's helping to transition him to his next level of consciousness or if it's just transisting mm, possible medical outcomes, but it doesn't I mean, and of course with the regular rider weight, when you look at the picture, it looks like somebody fleeing, somebody kind of getting in their boat and running away. And so um I think we're a lot more apt to see that than to see him sticking close and fighting it out because he's a coward, and that's what cowards do.
I'm gonna
And then,
Sherry, I'm gonna interrupt you for a second because I have a card that's very much on point with this,
okay.
which is the Chariot.
Oh, there you
And if
go.
you kind of show your Six of Sword card, again, I'm also picking up intuitively a transportation. It could be
Yeah.
a transportation to a hospital. It could be an
Or
ambulance transportation. I just kind of got a
hospice
feeling, a
situation.
yes, there's a transport here.
Yeah,
And that's why
there's,
I felt like I should let you know before you go further
yeah, yeah,
because
yeah.
it's the same
And
kind of idea. Yep.
that ties in with my next card, which is the Five of Cups.
Ups.
So, there he's he's not stupid. A lot of people think he's stupid. He's
Mm,
not a stupid man. He knows what he's doing most of the time. He's just a very vindictive, and cruel man. It's like he has no empathy for anybody else or their situation. I mean, hell, he told his own brother to just let his kid die because he didn't want to cover the insurance on the kid
yeah.
anymore through the company. And it's like, that's your nephew you're talking about. He don't care. Just, um, so I think that there's part of him with whatever's going on health wise. I think what I'm picking up is that he's starting to regret some of his past actions when he can coherently think along those lines. And that in and of itself is not easy for a narcissist because they
Mhm.
never see themselves in a negative light. It's always somebody else's fault.
Fault.
So, um, and then I pulled the Page of Swords. And this to me seems to be saying that we're going to be getting news on whatever this is. It's getting to the point where they're not going to be able to hide it anymore. They're going to have to come clean with everybody
Yes.
about what's going on. Um, and the fact that it's a sword is telling me that it's going to be very much. I mean, that's air. That's all up in the air, and swords is air, right? Yeah, swords is air
Yep.
and earth both. Um, or this card is air and earth both, but so I get a feeling that whatever it is that comes out, it's gonna travel fast,
Hmm.
because most things in the air, they move real quickly as opposed to other means. Um, and then I got in the predictions deck, I got stay put.
Mm,
So I it feels like to me he's wanting to run and hide, and he's being told, no, you have to stay put. Just stay right there, do what you're supposed to do. We'll take care of the rest. Because he's not the one in control.
no.
No matter what people think, he is not the one in control. There are people behind the scenes that are pulling all the strings. And then the last card I got was targeted
An
attack.
attack.
So depending on which way you want to go with it, and they're kind of showing me both, which is weird. It could either be he feels like he's being targeted and attacked because, of course, his health, it's not his fault. Had
No.
nothing to do with his lifestyle
Style
leading up to
choices.
this point. Yeah, so I think he feels like he's being targeted by whoever's fault it is that he's getting sick. It's their fault. At the same time, it could mean that because of his anger and his anguish and his just altogether irritability of how he feels, he's going to take it out on other people with
Hmm.
targeted attacks, which he's already been doing with the immigrant situation. Um, so it's their fault. It's like that makes no sense, but neither does he. I mean, I sit here and say he's not stupid, y'all, but yet he does a lot of times really stupid things simply because he doesn't know any other way to be.
Mhm.
That's just the way he is, which is kind of scary when you think about it. And
Yep.
is
I
what I got.
yep. I think I will rebound on a couple things that you said. I got the King of Swords very similar to your Knight
Page,
Page of
yeah,
Swords. I would just add to that that this when in a medical context when I see sword, it's the knife.
yeah,
And so I was also wondering like if there's like a procedure, surgical procedure. I got the Ace of Wand, and when you see that Ace of Wand, it's like a doctor's hands or a nurse's hand.
yeah,
But also look, I think it's very fascinating to me. Look at this hand. This could be his hand, and this hand is particularly swollen.
yeah.
Like we were talking about
It's not
hand,
a
and
normal looking
so
hand.
if there's any kind of catheter being put in there, it would be like that, like very swollen and bruised. I also got interesting cards with the Seven of Cups and the High Priestess. And those two
Oh,
cards really talk about hidden secrets. Right? The High Priestess, obviously, you can see that she's all covered. So we're covering up. And then the Seven of Cups, it's illusions. And so I feel that that's really much on point because it is talking about a situation where in the higher spaces in the government, people are aware, but there seems to be some sort of cover up going on here.
I
And
dropped the whole deck.
yeah, I figured, I figured that, that I think people know there's an actual team that's working on covering up all the medical procedures, the nurses, the
Oh yeah.
traveling nurses. Um,
Yeah, we
and then
picked that up a
yes, and
few times.
it's a continuation. And the Five of Wands here, it's like there's some struggle. There's some struggle with the situation. Rebounding on what you were saying, that to up until what point this is going to be visible for people. And I, really feel that um, the first card that we both got was the transport. And I think it wouldn't surprise me. We're here like he's rushed to the hospital, rushed to the. I'm
Yeah.
I'm getting that rush to the hospital, and
And
you
there's
know,
been a couple of times recently too where he's just up and disappeared from sight, like a
yes,
week at a time or something, and nobody knows where he is or what he's doing.
and
And
we've done a show just on that. That yes, he has traveled since then, but you can't really say that this is a president of the United States that traveling the world. He is not traveling.
no, no, he's
Very
not. I
limited
mean,
traveling. I mean,
his visit
when
to Canada the other day is the first out of country travel he's done since becoming president, I
and
believe.
he had to
He
come back.
left in the middle.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I think we should probably look at that too, where I feel like he had to come back because he was not the center of attention. But was there any medical reason as well?
Oh, interesting.
Was
Okay.
there a medical reason, you know?
For him disappearing and not. Yeah, because he did like a press conference saying, "Oh, I've got a big dinner with several of the leadership, and then I'll be heading back home." And then he literally turned around and left and got on his plane and left.
It didn't feel planned.
No, it didn't. And what I picked up at the time was he was pissed. He was
Yes.
really
Really
upset
pissed.
because the special dinner that they were doing were several of the other world leaders, along with
And
Zelensky
ski.
and s- I forget who the other person was, the president of Mexico, Scheinbaum,
Oh,
who were wanting to confront him with his continuous lies about, oh, we cut a deal, oh, we did this, oh, we did that. And it's not true. He hasn't been doing any of that stuff. So, um,
so let's ask, was there also a medical reason for him to go back to DC?
so quickly. Okay.
Was there a medical reason?
What was the medical reason? Or not what was, but hot dog it. See, I can tell we're on a hot topic today because the
Yes,
cards are
they
jumping.
fly.
They're flying out of my
Fly.
hands and hitting the floor.
Let's see.
So,
Was there a medical reason? I'm putting some cards, but so far not getting much of a medical reason. Was there a medical reason? Hmm. Okay, now those cards are talking. Okay, well, I'll start and then I'll let you share
yeah,
what you get. Uh, um, I got the justice, and when I got,
I got the same card.
you know what it makes me feel? Balance. So he was feeling dizzy. Yep.
King of Cups, which stands for balance.
He was feeling dizzy.
Mm, yeah.
And I got
Wow.
the moon. The moon is
Ooh,
also, of course, like the shadow, but also it deals with the mind. It deals with the headspace.
right.
I get the sense that he was feeling dizzy. I'm getting blood sugar problems, and he couldn't do the dinner. He just could not do the dinner.
Yeah, he was, it's like he was saying, I can't. And he was already upset because somehow I get the feeling he knew what they were going to do at the dinner, and he didn't want to have to deal with that,
No.
which could have exacerbated whatever it was that was making him feel so bad. I mean, like I said, I got the King of Cups. So it's that balance you've been talking about.
Yes.
And I had also had the Justice card, which
Justice.
you had. Um, but then I drew the Three of Cups, and I'm like, well, who's celebrating? And then I thought it was the other world leaders because they didn't have to deal with him
Yes.
anymore. He left. It was like, and they was like, yeah, let's crack open the champagne. He's out of our hair. And they actually had Zelensky sit in for the G7 meetings in Donald's chair
Oh, I was
where
not aware
he
of
would
that.
have sat,
Oh,
you know. And so that's going to really tick him off big
yes.
time because the one person that he really can't stand is Zelensky.
Ski.
And for whatever reason,
I know.
he does not like Zelensky. And I think that that's why he kind of went to extremes once he got back of a few of his attacks on people because he was ticked.
Plus, we'll talk about it. There was also the whole Israel-Iran thing
Right,
on top of
exactly.
all of this. You know, Sherry, when I see all these cups, especially King of Cups, Three of Cups, the moon, we're dealing with what the water element.
Yeah.
So there could have been, if it was hot, dehydration problem as well.
Or bladder kidney dysfunction.
Well, bladder would go with the whole catheter.
right, right, right.
situation.
And but if I mean if he's fighting like UTIs or something with the
Yeah.
bladder, that could also cause issues with the kidneys,
Yes.
as I'm currently learning. Um, I feel like emotionally he felt like just blindsided. Like, how dare
Yeah.
they think they're gonna,
Unprepared.
you
Unprepared.
know, yeah, it's, it was the shock of knowing that they were gonna do an intervention and have a talk to him
Yes.
about you can't be saying that you're the one that brokered a deal between India and Pakistan when you had nothing to do with it
No.
at all. You got the Indian PM who's furious right now at him for continuing to
Yeah.
tell the fable that, well, it was all because of what he did that they managed to work out a deal. And the Modi is his name, the
Yes.
Premier Prime Minister, whatever they call him in India, was like, that's a flat out lie. He had nothing to do with it. And you need to quit saying that. It's like, damn.
Mhm. He is also,
A lot of emotions mixed with it. It's
yeah,
the emotions I'm picking up from him is that of insult. Like, how dare you question me?
I know.
How dare you think you're gonna do an intercession with me? I'm above you. That's how he looks at everybody. That's how he thinks about himself is I'm above all of you lowly people, you know.
Yeah.
Um,
And this is coming from, to me, like this is stemming from the parade. That was the starting point of so, like a whole sequence, misuse of
Misuse
funds.
of funds. Yep. That's what I got for the parade.
The parade, I want to pull a few cards on the parade because it's not just the moment of the parade. It has really triggered so many things afterwards. He blamed
Hmm.
Exet for the parade. Um, he felt humiliated. Nine of Swords, a complete humiliation
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
for the
He was I
parade.
mean, I keep seeing that old squeaky tank being driving down the road as it was going down the road. And the fact that the the military presence that was there were not, they said that he was very upset that they were giving off a vibe of celebration. It's like they weren't walking in lockstep. And I'm sorry, you learn how to march in basic training and you never forget.
No,
You can correct your step at any moment and literally walk in step with anybody after
of
that point.
course.
That's ingrained in your brain for the rest of your life. And the fact that you had no one walking in lockstep, and they're all like just half of them didn't even they didn't have their dress blues on. They didn't have their dress uniforms on. They were all in just their fatigues or whatever. And uh and you had, the army marchers, they're all waving and smiling and whatnot at people. And he wanted what China and North Korea get, that fierce looking lockstep, everybody move identically. It was like, yeah, that's not what he got.
No,
He was not happy with Hegseth,
except
whatever his name
yes,
is. Um, but of
the
course
five.
he doesn't know what he's doing either. So,
No, for sure not. The Five of Pentacles, a loss of money and a loss,
mhm.
a depre. I mean, this looks like what I was saying, like very depressed. Look, Five of Cups, it just keeps getting worse and worse. And this looks like on the capital, like looking at
Yeah,
sadness over the capital. And yeah, there's two cups standing up, but three cups down. And I felt like it was a huge hit for him, this parade. It
Oh, he was
really,
humiliated.
really, yes,
Um, the fool.
full.
That's what he felt like
It
they
felt like
played
a
him for a
full.
fool. Yeah,
It was
that they
full.
did that. They played him for a fool. The hanged man.
Man, stuck.
Yeah, stuck in place, not and that's so funny. We were talking about that particular
I
card
know.
backstage. Um, and then I got the Ten of Pentacles. He spent a lot of money on
Oh,
that supposed parade, like $45 million or something. It's like how many military families could you have housed for that money?
I
Military
know.
families that can't afford to rent a house because they don't make enough money. It's just the contractors that make money.
I got the Seven of Swords, which I think is also an interesting dynamic. That I feel this is someone who, like a thief, it's almost like the parade was sabotaged.
Yeah.
Some of this was intentional to make him look bad.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
From what I've been hearing, it was the Army's way of thumbing their nose at him by it was like the only way they had of being able to protest what they were being forced to do,
Mm,
and all of that on the heels of all the crap he pulled in California
I know.
that he's still pulling in California. He's still got troops there. It's like,
Yes.
why? There's nothing happening there. I'm talking to friends who live all throughout LA and they're like, yeah, there's nothing happening here. It's the original protest was like a 4 block radius. It was under control by the local police and sheriff's
Of
departments. They had
course.
everything under control. And the next thing you know, he's sending in the National Guard and Marine troops and just making the whole situation worse. I mean, and the government has never, from what I was reading, has never sent its army of its military,
Mm,
regardless of what branch, against their own people.
no.
That's supposedly against the rules, is, something they take an oath on that they will not
Yes.
do. Because you have a lot of vets that are now confronting active duty military saying, okay, you're going to do this or you're going to stand up for what you pledged on that oath.
The Constitution. Yeah.
You can do both,
No.
because one negates the other. Yeah, I
W-
just keep getting, he is so mad. It's like I just keep seeing red, red,
Yes.
red.
Yes.
Like he's so angry.
But swollen too. Very swollen.
And I don't know if it's because of his anger that his body is reacting the way it is, or if he's being so extreme on how he feels because his body is not functioning right.
Or it's kind of a catch 22 where it's not feeling
Right.
right.
Damned if he does
The
and damned
body
if he doesn't.
responds, and
Yeah, exactly. That's gotta be,
oh, yeah,
I mean, to look at it from my perspective, that would be really bad to think that, you're gonna get this big parade that's gonna make you feel good, and instead you get this half-assed attempt at what it is you want because none of them were behind it. And then you had 13 million plus people showed up in a counter
protesting.
protest for no kings, and they're scheduling another one.
Yes.
So um, it's like,
The
yeah.
The other thing I wanted to have a quick look at, which going on also now, is not the decision itself, but how does he feel about the pressure that he has on his shoulders for this Israel-Iran situation, you know, because that's a huge decision that he has to make. And how is
Oh
dealing,
yeah,
the question is, how is he dealing with that pressure? Because it's the pressure of making a decision that will be impacting people's lives, as well as one part of his, well, the MAGAs really don't want anything to happen. And then
yeah.
the other part of the Republicans want him to do something. And so he's stuck in
Declare
between.
war, yeah.
Yeah. So my question to the Kurds is, how is he dealing with that pressure?
Good one. Okay.
Oh,
More cups, two of cups.
5 of Cups, same cards. It's almost like since he can't make everyone happy, he's gonna lose no matter what.
Seven of cups, more emotion.
Pressure, pressure, pressure. 3 of Swords. And
Six of wands. Yeah.
the 3 of Swords, I actually want to mention something here. Look at the knives in the heart. When you mention attack, I was wondering about a heart attack.
Yeah. And is he having little mini strokes?
I
Because a
keep
lot of
getting, I
people,
know,
if their health gets that bad,
many
it's not
strokes.
uncommon for them to have little mini strokes
Strokes.
leading up to a heart attack.
And I keep getting rushed to the hospital, rushed to the hospital.
Yeah, oh yeah. It's like I keep waiting for him to kind of disappear for a little while because,
Yes.
and then they're gonna have to make something up as to where he is and why we're not seeing him.
Didn't
And
this
if it's,
happen? Sorry to interrupt. Didn't this happen before they say it was sent to the hospital and they said it was a routine physical, which couldn't be because it was not
yeah,
scheduled. They must be preparing some sort of excuse, knowing that it might come up soon.
yeah, I from my governance deck, I pulled judgmental and scrutiny.
Funny.
So he feels the fact that people are judging him now. They're looking deeper into what's going on.
Yes.
Where are you? What are you doing? Why are you doing this? Why are you pushing these buttons when you've already been told no numerous times by numerous different courts?
Yes.
But you just like he's like a dog with a bone. He just won't let go. Let me see, what do I get on this one? Foreign occupation. I'm wondering if he's not trying to set us up for another country to march on in and take control. I don't think they could do that. I think there's too many people in this country who are already armed to the teeth who would
Yes.
not, they would not go for that at all. Here comes that five of cups again.
Keeps getting the 5 of Cups. And I ask,
Page of swords again.
those cards keeps coming up, and I ask, what's coming up for him? And I got the Devil.
Mm,
So that's for him facing
that would
his
go very well
fears.
with this one.
Yes.
The devil you know as opposed to the devil you don't know.
Don't know. And this summer, I feel I got the sun. Lately, when I get the sun, to me, that means something's happening in the summer.
Yeah.
I feel
Well,
like
and
something's about to blow up. Yeah,
I've been picking up something major is going to happen between August and September, somewhere
summer.
in that area. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's going to be a natural disaster.
After.
Um, because I have been picking up major hurricanes
Yeah.
heading our way, especially for the Gulf Coast, which is the last damn thing we need. Uh, I know and I'd forgotten about this, and just now it's coming back to my mind. I actually dreamed last night
Oh,
of storms coming in and people trying to get in boats so they could get away.
wow. Any particular area?
No, it was like right here where I'm at. Is like I
Oh,
wasn't anywhere else. I was like
where
at
you
home.
were?
Um, I had forgotten all about it. I had that just came back to me
Oh,
just
yeah.
now. I'd forgotten I'd had that dream because when I woke up this morning, it was kind of like first thing I did was check the weather. Please tell me we don't have a storm coming.
Mm,
Because it's been raining every day here for like 2 weeks. Every day it's been raining. I mean, we've been under flood watch for over a week and a half.
no way.
Yeah, because it's like we're already at sea level or below if you're over in the New Orleans area. You're below sea level. Um, I mean, the largest land-based swamp in the continental US is roughly 5 miles from me. And that's the Atchafalaya. I mean, it's right there, you know. I could walk to it if I had to. Um, I know when Hurricane Andrew hit, it wiped out Florida, then jumped into the Gulf, regrew
Mm.
back to a Cat 5, and then it literally went right up the Atchafalaya. And um, but I'm trying to see if I can pull anything else out of the dream, but that's all I can remember was people trying to get into boats because everything was flooding out. So much so that that was the first thing I did when I woke up this morning was check the weather channel
Wow, that
or
was
check the
intense.
weather on my phone
Yes.
to see, do we have a storm coming?
Mhm.
Because I know they got a hurricane getting ready to hit the Pacific coast.
Yep.
Eric or Erica or something like that. I don't know how strong it is though. I wasn't really paying attention. So I don't know. I'd have to go back on the weather channel and go look and see what's out there. We it could be. The only thing I remember was just the scramble for boats, everybody trying to get in a boat
Wow.
because you couldn't drive, you couldn't walk. You needed a boat. That's how deep the water was. And I'm sure there's all kinds of meanings to go with that. I'm not a dream interpreter, so
I
I don't
felt
really
it was
know.
probably literal the announcement of a storm for sure.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was going with it when I woke up was like, oh great, we got a storm coming, but I didn't see anything when I looked coming like right now. So it was like, well, maybe I was just having a weird dream or something. But and then we started talking about it and it's
I
like
know
it
it
came right back
clicked
to me.
me
It was
up.
like
No, I think
it's
there's
like
more to it. Yeah, it's probably premonition dream.
that very well could be. Yeah. I
Yes.
mean, I've already seen major storms hitting the Gulf this hurricane season.
Yes, that I feel too.
And I've had a couple of them where it's like I keep seeing Cat 6, Cat 6, Cat 6. That's the new level they came up with
Wow.
last year that's like sustained winds of 195 miles an hour plus. It's,
Wow.
who can,
Make it.
I don't
No.
know of any building that can withstand that just nonstop.
No. Well, Sherry will definitely make sure that you stay safe and people around you stay safe. And no matter where you are, wishing everyone to stay safe during
Oh
this
yeah, it's
hurricane
like this is the
season
one
because,
premonition that I'm praying I
yes,
am so wrong on that everybody can say, "Well, you got that one wrong."
mm,
Yeah, thank God
mm,
I don't want to
of
get that one
course.
right. Um,
But whether it's winds or fire, I mean, this summer we know it's
it's gonna
high. I
be
know
a rough summer
summer.
weather-wise, and we don't have FEMA anymore. So there's nobody there that's going to
No,
come help after the storm. We don't have the weather service down here anymore because he shut it all
shut
down.
down.
So we don't even have accurate weather of what's happening. We're relying upon the European models. And
With
that's on the other
alert, with
side of the,
proper alerts, and I know, and everything changes so quickly. Um, I think Sherry, we're coming to the end of the show.
oh God,
I,
yeah. Oh
yeah,
wow.
I know it
Um,
went so fast. Um,
yeah,
but I think it was, to me at least, very enlightening to ex I feel everything we saw, I would expect to show up over the summer. And I don't think it was a complete coincidence to have the weather situation on top of his personal situation. I think there's a boiling point here. And so,
yeah, because uh, he's refusing to see what he's done is going to hurt more people. He refuses to see it and he really just doesn't care. If it's not
no,
going to affect him, he doesn't care.
no,
Um, and he's all those cups, we kept getting all those
those
cups, all that
cops,
emotion. It was like being just bombarded with emotion. That was wild. Trying to see if they're going to give me anything else. No, I'm not picking
okay.
up anything else. Sometimes they'll come start whispering to me, like at the end, don't forget, say this, say this. I
No,
guess I
I
said
just
what they wanted me to
see,
say.
I think the
Yeah,
connection point, the cups, his emotions, but the cups represent water, and I think it's water. You, the topic that keeps coming up is water, whether it's an
water.
emotion, water, or actual water coming from a storm. Um,
Yeah,
Everyone, please stay safe. I know this is just the beginning of this crazy season. Sherry, it
yeah.
was my honor to have you on the channel. Time went so
Thank
fast,
you. I
as
love
usual.
being with you. I love spending
Likewise.
time with you.
Yes.
So, um, I
Thank
get
you,
a lot
everyone,
of
for
good comments
watching.
afterwards. Yeah, I get a lot of good comments
Exactly.
afterwards. I love y'all's deep dives. I'm like, good. We
Yeah,
do too.
we do too. We have fun, and we hope you have fun. Check and
Yeah.
subscribe. Sherry's channel, Voice from the Swamp,
And Nate's channel.
The Third Wish, and just checking with
Uh,
us. Please feel free to comment. Um, we'll be
yeah,
doing one of those in a month
we'll be back what
on
on my
this.
channel on the 5th, I think it is, of July.
Yes. And
And
then 2 weeks
and
later would
then
be
the 19th
paint
back here on
for
with
another
you.
deep
Yeah,
dive. So thank you, everyone. Thanks for watching. We would love to see, hear your comments. Share, it's always
absolutely.
a complete pleasure. And tell us what you
Thank you,
think
my
and
dear.
stay safe.
I
Bye
love
bye,
your
everyone.
I love reading with you because I get so much extra stuff that just kind of pops out.
You do.
It's,
You do. You
yeah,
do. Thank you.
thank
Bye,
you.
everyone.
Bye, y'all.